Hey, I'm Tom from Take Time to Travel. I just recently traveled from Montreal, Quebec to Victoria, British Columbia by plane, train, Uber, and taxi. I'm sure some of you are curious as to what it's like traveling right now, so stick around and I'll show you my experience traveling across Canada during the pandemic. Now, the reason I traveled to Victoria is because it's the mildest weather in Canada for the winter. I had hoped to spend the winter in Vietnam, but unfortunately this year it's just not safe to travel abroad. So I started my journey early in Montreal and took an Uber to the train station, or la Gare Central. It's the first Uber I've taken in a number of months, so that was a little bit different experience. They had plastic hanging in between the front and the back seat. We had the windows open and masks on. It was a Sunday morning. There was very little traffic, so it didn't take long to get to the station. And when we arrived at the station, it was not very busy at all.
This was filmed just after 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Everyone was wearing masks inside, and it was very easy to keep your distance from other people. Most of the shops were closed, so it was a little bit eerie. There ended up being quite a line for boarding the train, but people were very well spaced out, so it felt relatively safe. They did a quick verbal questionnaire to see if you should be quarantining, if you have symptoms, if you've been out of the country, and they also sanitized our hands. As we left Montreal on the train, there was maybe 3 other people in our car, which was great. More people got on at the first stop, Dorval, so the train car was maybe 20% full. Everyone was wearing masks, and you could only take it off to eat or drink, and that felt pretty safe. I ended up getting off the train at Oshawa Station after a 4.5-hour train ride. The station was quite empty. There were only about 10 other people who got off at that stop.
So overall, I felt fairly safe and comfortable on the train. Some family came and picked me up at Oshawa Station, and I was able to grab some more of my luggage to take with me to Victoria. Then I got a ride to downtown Toronto, where I stayed at One King West Hotel for one night. I made a video on the One King West Hotel, and I got upgraded to a Tower 1 suite. If you're interested in that, check it out. There's a link in the description down below. The lobby wasn't that busy. Everyone was wearing masks, there was a health questionnaire to fill out, and there was plexiglass between the front desk staff and the customers. It felt clean and safe. Checkout at the hotel was real easy. We just dropped off our key cards in a box and we were on our way. We left the hotel around 6 or 6:30 a.m. and grabbed an Uber to the airport. It was a bigger SUV, although there was no divider, but we had masks on, the windows were partly open, and so it seemed fine. The Uber ride was fast since there wasn't much traffic at that time in the morning. It only took about 30 minutes. When I got to the airport, I was a bit surprised by how busy it was. Have a look.
Right when you walked into the terminal, there were crowds of people, which was shocking since you hear about how few people are flying. There were long lineups everywhere, but people were wearing masks. I was able to do self-check-in and have my luggage weighed and put on the baggage conveyor by myself, which avoided contact with airline staff. There was an additional line for temperature screening. All of the lines went by pretty quickly, and people for the most part kept their distance well. During the boarding process, everyone was spaced out and of course wearing masks. The Air Canada flight from Toronto to Victoria was about 40% full, and I was glad this flight didn't get cancelled because I was cancelled and rebooked twice before this. During the flight, everyone had to wear a mask except while eating or drinking. There were no meals included on the flight, which you'd normally get, but they did provide a bag with a mask, sanitizer, earphones, and a water bottle. The flight attendants also came around and offered refreshments. The 5-hour flight was smooth and went by quickly, and we arrived in Victoria to mild and sunny weather, which was a nice change from the rain in Toronto. People did, however, bunch up when the flight landed to grab the carry-on bags from the overhead compartments. Victoria Airport was not very busy, although some of the seating areas were a bit more full. It's a smaller airport and very beautiful. People were spaced out well to grab their suitcases, which came very quickly. It took about 30 minutes from when we landed until we had our baggage and were out front of the airport terminal.
I grabbed a taxi to downtown Victoria, which took about 30 minutes. There was a plexiglass divider, we had masks on, and the windows were open. It cost around $60 and felt safe. When I arrived, they buzzed me into the building. I took the elevator up and used the key code to get into the Airbnb. It was totally contactless. I hope this gave you an idea of what it's like to travel across Canada during these times. If you enjoyed or learned something from this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications of future videos. I have a tour of my Airbnb in Victoria and the area I'm in coming up soon, so watch for that. And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.